Is the world around us exactly as it seems? Is reality even real? Or do we live inside a computer simulation? And if so, what's the evidence? The likes of Stephen Hawking, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Elon Musk all seem obsessed with the idea, with simulation theory almost turning into some kind of religion. But do you believe a race of super advanced masters control our world and our every move? Well, you might, after you hear the 3 reasons why we are living in a simulation. Number 3, technology.
Aloha. With this build, I wanted to go into the recent events with SpaceX, Elon Musk, and like how I'm interpreting this whole thing and what was presented to the masses to be distracted by, to be sucked into, and just to how I'm seeing it, that whole thing with the whole SpaceX rocket, that was a litmus test. It was a test to see how many people, well, it was a whole bunch of different things. But the main thing was, it was a litmus test. It's always a litmus test to see your numbers, what you're working with, because each move they make, once you see how many people will fall for a particular magic trick, will fall for a particular belief system, or will fall for a particular theory being pawned off as fact or truth, once you figure that out, then you can figure, that's like the macrocosm to the microcosm moves that you have to make when you're working not only in the space of trying to control people's minds based upon every single day, every single hour, every single video, every single movie that's being made, and then go 10, 20, 30, 100 years out. These are the scripts that are being played with. You have a daily script that's played that's usually bombarded by politics to make you believe in the system. Then you have a weekly script that's usually being played by the overall kind of like social media. What happened this week on social media? And the attention span is just totally blown out. Nobody pays attention to anything. There's so much information out there. Nobody knows what to do with any of this information. So what happens is that people end up in this ball of confusion, like the Temptations were saying, this ball of confusion where you're so busy trying to maintain an even keel with your basic human resources, your job, your family, your relationships, that you have no time to be worrying about, what's going on with space or what's going on with other people's belief systems. You just do your thing. And I asked some people about SpaceX. I just went up there. It's another way to ask people to like start the questions of, or start the conversation of space itself, because for the people who have already been going into the not globe Earth, we've already understood that the deception of locking you into a universe that has nothing to do with your true nature is a form of control. Like, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know your family, you can't unify with some kind of group, or you can't unify with your culture or your people or your ancestors, or you can't come together and gather your strength. You can't do that if you don't know what's going on. So this is why it was so important to keep the indigenous so-called black people in the Americas, keep them from understanding that they were already here. if they consistently believe that they're only here because they were slaves, then you have a slave race that will pass that mentality on to generations. This is why you have Black History Month. So the same way, my approach to this build right now, in reference to SpaceX, is the same kind of approach that is going on with Black History Month. Black History Month has been presented to you, but we all know that the storylines that are presented to us about Black History Month are total bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's designed to maintain the slave mentality. It's designed to maintain the colonial sort of locking you into this shallow interpretation of your reality so you can't go any further than that. And what's happening now is that you have damage control all over the place. You have everybody, I mean, even in the Winter Olympics, you have, like I was explaining in reference to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was basically a 3-hour-long national anthem. It's like the most American thing ever. If you watch it all as one movie, watch the Super Bowl. I mean, they had the Super Bowl go on for a week. That's new. A week-long Super Bowl like thing. I mean, you had people watching that on ESPN or wherever it was on. But you had, the point is, this is damage control. People are not believing this world anymore. They don't care about what is popular. They don't care about what's going on with politics, which is why they had to turn it into a comedy show, because they knew after Bush and then Obama, the last time people cared about politics was Barack Obama. And then when they had 8 years of realizing that he wasn't going to do shit, he ain't worth a damn, he can't. It's bigger than him. Then they had to distract you with politics. So with the same thing that happens with Donald Trump right now, these are all damage control. Donald Trump is damage control for politics. Black History Month was damage, and same thing with the Civil Rights Act, was damage control for hiding white supremacy, the racist agenda, the colonial agenda, the eugenics agenda, the depopulation program. It's all this stuff to hide the true nature of what's going on. So my question is, what does SpaceX hide the true nature of what's the true nature of what SpaceX is hiding? Because obviously it's put out there to look fake. He literally said it's real because it looks so fake. So it's what it's doing. It's stoking the fire. And I look back in the videos that I did 2 years ago. There's like 4 of them where I was talking about SpaceX, Elon Musk, and simulation theory and transhumanism and CERN and so on and so forth. Like how that is going to be the new transition. And I'll link all those videos in the description below so you can go back and look at them. But I didn't listen to them all the way through, but I've been saying the same thing for the last like 2 years. And the SpaceX stuff is only now coming to fruition because they had to build its stature up. But Elon Musk needed to be stronger in society, so they had to play all this like little rocket launches, little interviews here and there, team him up with Neil deGrasse Tyson, team him up with Bill Nye, and have them start seeding these mentalities that are going to be the next belief system. So what are they seeding? They've been seeding quantum mechanics, quantum theory. They've been seeding simulation theory. They've been seeding this CERN program. And obviously, they've been seeding this implosion of the globe model, the heliocentric universe. It seems obvious to me and some of the subscribers on this channel, because when you look at that video, if you're just thinking, oh yeah, that's fake and they messed up, like, I'm gonna be honest, like in the video, in the video that I put out about SpaceX, that's what I thought. Like I was like, man, this shit is so, well, first of all, the whole thing was fake. But when they had that supposed fairing open up, I was like, man, that's like the fakest stuff ever. So when I started to look into it, I started to look into like the science of, this was supposed to be some big, like some bolts were supposed to explode, and the car was supposed to shoot out of the tip of this penis-shaped rocket and shoot this red sports car to Mars, and it's gonna be the best thing ever. And it was just so damn fake. You can see that it's out there to dumb down the people. But they're not just going to dumb down the people. They're going to take statistics on what's going on. So you're going to have, and this is the really jacked up thing. I've heard some kids talk about Elon Musk like he's a damn superhero. I mean, it was like this. A friend of mine, a friend of a friend had I think he was like 12 years old or something, like really smart kid, and was knew more about Elon Musk than most adults do. This is like a 12-year-old little boy knows more than that. Knows more than an adult. And I'm just like, how did your son like figure, like, what is going on? And then I realized that's the mainstream. That's the new education system. The new education is futurism. They're not teaching CERN information and Elon Musk, SpaceX. They're not teaching that, and they're not teaching quantum mechanics and all that stuff in the school system, not yet at least. So what's happening is they're imploding the school system, but while it's imploding, these kids are doing this research on their own, and the kids are being chatteled into what research they should be researching. And their leaders are people like Elon Musk, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Bill Nye. This is why they cater to that millennial and that man-child mentality, where they have these people working for SpaceX sitting in a auditorium somewhere looking at a video, cheering, "Yay! The second burner has went successfully. Oh my God. Did you see that, people? I'm getting something back. Let's go back to our correspondence at the front desk and wait for the next thing to come on video." I mean, it's just on and on and on and on. And the thing is, they're getting these young adults, or man children, mostly women children, and these childrens to believe in it. They don't give a shit about the adults because the adults are so dumbed down and bogged down by their responsibilities to their kids, to their jobs. They're not going to do anything. So this is how the system plays 10, 20, 30, 100 years out. So when I saw that SpaceX video, initially I was like, man, this is so unbelievably fake that it's almost suspicious. At that time, it was almost suspicious to me that how fake it was. And then when Elon Musk said, yeah, it's real because it looks so fake, then I was like, oh, hell no, wait a second. This must be on purpose. And then looking at all the other videos, all the easy stuff that could be easily found, like linking up the two boosters, these are not mistakes. These are not mistakes. They are playing this program is playing no less than 3 or 4. If you think that they just mistakenly just did this stuff, that's checkers. So like I fell for it too at the first time. I was like, man, this is sickening, man. This is sickening how fake it is. But what's even more sickening is that how many people are going to believe it. And believe me, look at that comment section of people talking about, the fairing just opened up, you big dummy. Like, you should just go. I mean, it was ridiculous. But anyway, so you have this dumbing down and de-evolving of the human intellect, the human consciousness. While it's dumbing you down, the system has to also synthetically dumb you up. So it's dumbing you up. My question is, into what? So if they do some big event like send a Tesla sports car, into space on its way to Mars, they even give a soundtrack with David Bowie. They use all these things that are going to suck you in. So they got the music. They got the red sports car. They got the astronaut spaceman in there. They got the Earth behind, like the spherical Earth in the screen behind. They got rockets. They got the sex programming, space sex, and then they got the phallic shape of the rocket. Then you got the pride in the Americas. So basically, what happened with SpaceX was just another version of going to the moon. Nobody else has shot a car. We're the most badass people on the earth. We are the ones. SpaceX, he represents America, baby. We're the only ones who shot a red sports car into space to go around Mars for billions of years. I mean, come on, man. If you believe that, this is the split. This is the actual split, that litmus test that I was talking about. You're going to have people who are going to either the fork in the road. They're going to critically think and trust their intuition and start to research this stuff. Or they're going to they're going to fall deeper into the belief systems of the religion of scientism, of the religion of futurism. This is that split. And what SpaceX did was formalize it. The thing is, they know it's going to fail because they already know the space that they're showing us is fake. So if you know that they know that space is fake and they're still promoting space as real, then you have to also know that whatever they put in front of you is meant to fail so they can bring in whatever other system that they really want you to believe in. Because this is team building. So once you have people split on the fork in the road, this is what's happening right now. People are on team fake X and team SpaceX. That's the teams right now. And that's basically the team of heliocentrism or not believing in the globe theory, and then heliocentrism. So fake X and SpaceX. What happens is, once you have people playing checkers like that, this is the mainstream. What I'm saying is that this is the what I'm getting into is that this is the controlled demolition of space as we knew it. It's the controlled demolition. And what they're doing is they're going to, like I said in the comment on the SpaceX video, is NASA's already been compromised, obviously. I mean, it was built by Nazis. So NASA's been compromised from the get-go. They need a replacement. So what they need is to co-opt what NASA already was selling, but also co-opt or amplify what they are trying to sell in that's new. If you remember in the old videos where I was talking about CERN, the CERN program actually jumped off around the same time the NASA program jumped off. So they knew that NASA was going to be the fall guy. They knew that this movie reel called the heliocentric universe, it was only going to last for so long. They knew the Apollo movies will only hold water for so long. They knew that fake video of the moon landing would only hold water for so long. They knew that the videos that they would come out with later on would only hold water for so long, and that the information available would eventually deteriorate and die. If they knew that back in the 60s and the 50s, you think they wouldn't have a contingency plan? No, of course they would. So what was their contingency plan? They had to have started it at the same time. That was the CERN program. So this whole idea of checkers, one-on-one, it's a distraction. So the distraction is to have you focus all your energy, gather all the people to focus, to have something to focus on. It doesn't matter if they agree on it or disagree. It doesn't matter. The focus is the intent. That's what actually matters. And when you have a big event like this, you're going to have people who are now going to force themselves to make this. They're going to have to understand it in some kind of way. They're going to have to answer for what's going on, because the public opinion is saying that this is real. The public opinion is saying that this is real. And like I said, I've asked people, I didn't really finish what I was going to say in reference to that. I've asked people, do you really believe that SpaceX put a red sports car on the top of a rocket and shot that rocket up out into the orbit, or outside of the Earth, into around the sun, to orbit around Mars while it's listening to David Bowie on repeat for billions of years, and then showed video of that happening? Do you believe that's real? There are so many uncertain perspectives in that one little mentality, that the individual, if they're completely just bought into the system, they're not going to care. They're just going to say, I believe what I believe. I believe what the public opinion is, and that's it. You're just crazy. You're going to have those people. There's nothing you can do about that. I mean, people are going to individually get out of that or stay in it on their own. But you're going to have the majority of people who are buying into the public opinion, who have at least a little bit of critical thinking parts in their body. They're going to do something about it. So they're going to research it. So you're going to have more instability in the system of old space, because it looks so fake. What I'm saying is that it looks so fake on purpose. When you come to that conclusion, now you have to say, well, if they want to make it look fake on purpose, what are they actually trying to do? This is the controlled release. How I'm seeing it, it's the controlled release of the new interpretation of this reality. I'm not saying it's a controlled release of flat Earth. I'm saying that they could easily co-opt flat Earth in this controlled release of what I'm saying is simulation theory and the quantum mechanics, transhumanism agenda that's been being played for so long. They could sprinkle in SpaceX, or they could sprinkle in the alien agenda and flat Earth, and totally just kill it all at the same time. Because when you say flat Earth, you're basically talking about something. I mean, it's old. It's in reference to kind of like the old versions of cosmology. So the new version of cosmology back in the day was the globe model. And look how long that lasted, 500 years. So now you have the new version of cosmology. It's not going to be flat Earth, because that's old. The new version of cosmology that they're trying to sell, or prepping people to sell, is the simulated cosmology. It's the CERN programming the simulated universe. Because if you live in a computer simulation, that means that you're nothing more than a computer, a PC. You're just a walking MacBook Pro. That's it. So if you're a walking MacBook Pro, that means you can do updates to your body, hardware and software updates. These software updates is the information that's coming in, and all that interdimensional quantum stuff that they're getting ready to co-opt with the new age and CERN and simulation theory and so on and so forth. And possibly the alien creators send these Wi-Fi downloads down to you, and some people pick them up as inventions and other people pick them up as this. And then you had the bad people who picked up that information and did stuff with this. But we're the good people now. So we're going to use that information. We're going to use those downloads from the new age community and the aliens, the good aliens. And we found this new stuff in CERN. We're going to use all this stuff for the betterment of humanity. And we're going to hold accountable these people who have been controlling, or these aliens or reptilians or whatever they want to call them. They're going to create a space where they have a villain and the superhero. And it's not so much about who the villain is. It's about who are they making to be the superhero. So just like what's going on with this whole like feminism movement, and they're not talking about the attack on the divine feminine and the divine masculine. They're talking about the patriarchal attack on women in the Western civilization. They're not talking, if you're talking about that, you're not talking about the cancer. You're talking about the side effects to the cancer. So the same thing is happening with the takedown of certain men to bring in this new version of reality. With women, it's another out of balance version of reality. You're not understanding the true alchemy of what the masculine and the feminine is, the balances of nature. They're not gonna go into that. They want you to buy into the shallow interpretations of what they're saying. So the villain in this program will be the old NASA, the reptilians, the bad aliens, whatever it is they've been telling you for so long. And in order to bring in the superhero is going to be this new, I mean, they could easily play Elon Musk right now as a villain in this takedown, and then bring him back and say, oh, I was just playing, I just had to do this because they strong-armed me, and so on and so forth. And then he could easily say, yeah, that's why I said it looks fake. It's real because it looks so fake. He can say the same thing with that little car he was putting, because what it looks like is that car is just a model car. And when he was talking about, oh yeah, we have a little micro machines, a little micro car sitting on the dashboard. This is mind control. It's to make you think in reference to scale. So if he tells you that there's a tiny micro car sitting on the dash of that car, you think in your head, oh yeah, it must be real. That must be a huge car, because that little car, I could see it. It's sitting on the dash. It's real. It's all real. So he could easily play that role, and they could use him to play that role so they can sell in the next agenda. What I'm saying is that they need Elon Musk. The system needs Elon Musk. And there's so much invested in him because he's been one of the main talking heads for simulation theory, quantum mechanics, and this sort of futuristic version or interpretation of reality. So I wouldn't be surprised if sometime in the next however many months or whatever, Elon Musk flips the script and starts talking more about simulation theory and kind of unveils this rocket bullshit as being a total farce. Because that's the distraction that I've been seeing. You know that they've been leaking information about flat Earth. You know that the system has been constantly talking about simulation theory, constantly talking about transhumanism, and they put all this money and resources into CERN. The bottom line is there's no way that this system can save the old universe. It has to install a new universe. Before the new universe gets installed, the old universe needs to be destroyed. It needs to be destroyed or have the appearance of being destroyed by the people. This is why you have this fake video of SpaceX being projected into reality, so you can have the people disassemble, remove. They can have this sort of idea of, we are doing it. See, we did this. And you have flat earthers now making all the videos about how fake this is. Obviously, it's fake. We know it's fake because we know the whole space thing is fake. But when you break it down to a science, you're doing exactly what they want you to do. You're doing the work for them. If you know that they know that space is fake, they can't make those spaces fake videos to make it real for people. They have to have real people make the spaces fake videos to make it seem real for people. If you had Fox News and MSNBC and TYT and Alex Jones making space is fake videos scientifically and speaking and, from all this, there'd be people who wouldn't believe it. But if you have regular people doing it, then you got them. So what happens is you got Alex Jones. Alex Jones is, he's on the SpaceX bandwagon because the SpaceX bandwagon is like concentrated America. That's all it is. It's the space race. It's the same thing. Concentrated America is going to suck Alex Jones in quicker than anything else. So he jumped on board that bandwagon. He's on the Trump train. He's going to be on the America train. And he's talking about how, the future is this, the future is that. He can't let that go because he can't let go of Western America, Western society, Western civilization. And there's still a lot of people in these so-called truther communities who are thinking the same way and acting the same way. They might tell you all this truth information about flat earth and all that other shit, but they ain't getting down to the actual roots. They ain't getting to the cancer of it all. And that's where I'm saying, for people who are subscribed to a lot of these channels who are talking about that stuff, you got to see like, all right, well, when will this be the topic? Will it be the topic when, point being, the people who are following that checker game trail are going to be no less than 3 steps behind what the system wants you to do, what the system wants you to believe, and how the system wants you to act. And people are saying, oh, well, I only do this information. I've done great work talking and revealing this information about this particular thing. Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't take that much to go that one step further to say, well, the entire civilization has been sold to us with death and destruction. It's not just today with chemtrails and all this other and whatever they're doing, the food, the genetically modified food, the fluoride in the waters. That's not just today. If you're not instantaneously tying that information into smallpox blankets, into genocide, into paper genocide, into colonialism, into eugenics, into white supremacy, and further and further and further, and total dominance and control by the monarchy, all the way back into the shift and transition from Egypt to Greece and Rome, and that whole mentality of control and dominance. If we're not going there, we're actually just playing into the hands of what the system wants you to believe in. So back to this SpaceX fake bogusness that's obviously out there. If you know that they know that space is fake and they go this far, they went this far to do this, then you have to know that they're doing it on purpose. So what is the purpose for that? Why? My interpretation or my understanding is the purpose of putting a fake car on TV that is supposed to be in space is the controlled demolition. It's the controlled takedown. And like I said, they're going to get you, the flat earthers, to make the videos for them. So it makes the good guys versus the bad guys more realistic. And then when the so-called bad guys start to change their ways, like SpaceX, like Elon Musk, when he changes his ways and starts to tell the truth and starts to co-opt what the so-called good guys, the flat earthers, have already put out there, once they co-opt it, you got them. It's already real. It's because you have people, they're not following themselves and how this system is totally fake. They're not following their own empowerment from the inside out. You have people following the information. That is dangerous because it's not the information that gives you the power. It's what you do with that information that empowers you. So if you have hundreds and hundreds of YouTubers with thousands and thousands or hundreds of thousands of subscribers following this information, and it's just being promoted as just information. Hey, I'm just making this information. Just then you're setting people up for failure, because you're not dealing with the fact that the slave mentality is going to just follow this information, even if it gets co-opted. Even and especially if it gets co-opted, because naturally we have this desire, we have this there's something inside of us to want to do something with this information. If you don't do anything with the information, it's just gonna weigh down on you. It's going to burn out in some kind of way. Whatever it is, the information has to be moved somewhere. Otherwise, it'll become a burden on you. So what I'm saying is, when you have people who are not completely informed about the entire system, like what's going on right now, you have people right now who are probably hundreds of thousands of people who are jumping into chapter 1 of the so-called flat earth information right now because of how fake SpaceX looks. So when you have people in that limbo space, they're not really confident in that information, and they don't know what to do with it. They don't know where it goes. Just like see, I came into this information backwards. I came into this information knowing that the system was full of shit from the roots. I knew that the colonial program was based upon mind control, and I knew that for some years. Then 3 years ago, that's when I found out it went all the way up to the very interpretation of the universe. So once I got to that space, that's when it started to make a lot of sense about separating you from nature, separating you from your soul, your psychology, your mind, your roots, each other, your relationships, to disempower you. Once that space was known, that's when I was like, all right, well, everything that's being projected into our reality by that system is meant for a purpose. So I'll end it on this. I just wanted to share this information in this quick video to help people see that, yes, it's that SpaceX stuff is fake, but my question is why? Why does it look so fake? Why? Period. Why? Why are we being told to believe that this is real for people who are going to believe that it's real? And why are we being told that, if you're really looking, why are we being told that this is fake for people who are going to believe that it's fake? So you're going to have people who are going to have their own reasons for both sides. My point is, the focus is the intention. So now that they have everybody's focused on the earth right now, everybody, I mean, I had a friend of mine say, oh, you fucking flat earther. Like, a friend of mine, I mean, it's joking, but it has to go in that section. It has to go through the talking you down, then joking about it, and then, arguing, and then it's finally accepted as, something that's real. So I just wanted to put this information out there for people to start to ask some more questions of, the aftermath. Yes, it's fake. My question is why? We already know the flat earth is slowly being moved into the mainstream consciousness. In my eyes, this was just one of those moves to do that. We see it as, oh yeah, they're trying to hold on to heliocentrism. Some people will see it that way. I don't see it like that at all. In 2018, if they do some big thing like this, and it just happens to look so fake, and then he happens to say it looks so fake, and then they happen to have all these things that look fake with the fairing, with the double videos of the boosters being the same video, and oops, that could have been this and it could have been that. Look, the overall macrocosm of this whole thing is, you are focused on this. It's laughable, which is why I just laughed at it that other time, because I wanted to just sit back and watch the show. I knew it was going to trigger a lot of people, piss a lot of people off. I knew that was going to happen. This is how YouTube, just like YouTube is playing these videos. I actually saw that video went from 70 views down to 50 in 2 minutes. I started it at 50 views. I closed the video. After I finished it, I went back, I started it at 70. I closed the video, I went back, I turned the video back on, and it was at 50 views. So if we know that Google/YouTube is filtering information, censoring information, taking views, taking likes, hiding subscribers and adding subscribers to other people, removing subscribers, we know all this stuff. I mean, the proof is in the video with Google allowing SpaceX to alter their videos. We know all this stuff. So if that's the case, then my question is why? If you can critically think about how fake this is, then you can critically think about why they're promoting such fakeness. Is it because they are so incompetent? Is that why? Are you really thinking that this system is that incompetent? No. This is a very intelligent system. So if they're playing incompetence, which is laughable, you have to see, well, what is being played. In order to see what is being played, you have to see what was being played. So when I look back at the videos, the 4 videos that I did about SpaceX and Elon Musk 2+ years ago, when I look back on that, I'm going back and seeing CERN, simulation theory, and the whole quantum world that they're getting ready to, that they're already been selling to people. And these are the words out of Elon Musk's mouth. That simulation stuff, you can look, he's all about it. Him, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Bill Nye, and Michio Kaku, and Ray Kurzweil. Everybody in that scientific circle, they're all, or scientism circle, they're all about that simulation theory. So while you're going to have the measly peasants arguing about flat versus globe, you're going to have the more evolved, educated intellects ushering in the new interpretation of this universe. It's about simulation theory. It's about quantum mechanics. And who can talk about quantum mechanics? Only the people who've been out there in the tippy top of that secret clearance program in the university system. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye, Michio Kaku, Ray Kurzweil, Elon Musk, and all those other assholes up there. Those are going to be the ones who are going to usher in the new one. So that's the way that they're going to keep the peasants from the intellects, from the most evolved, to maintain the evolutionary peak of the university system. That's going to be the new version being sold into the people. And in order to sell it into the people, they have to first demonize and make everybody insignificant. Everybody has to be insecure. Everybody has to be stupid, pretty much. And what's happening is you have the peasants, you got the majority of people arguing flat versus globe while they're prepping your asses for quantum, simulation, non-physical versus physical. And this is where the alien agenda comes in. This is where the whole hyperspace, this is where they can totally like upgrade the theory of light, or the speed of light theory, the gravity theory, the Big Bang theory. This SpaceX bullshit, this is the precursor to the upgrade of the universe. And just like they make those iPhones go slow as hell, when like you got an iPhone 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right now, they're slowing down your software. They're slowing it down so you can buy the new iPhone 10. Is the iPhone 10 way better and all that? No, it's just new and it's slightly better. And what are they doing? They're controlling your evolution. They're controlling your focus, your information, and they're making you think and act a certain way. They make you go buy that phone. They make you buy that new universe. So what's happening? What happened with the SpaceX fake X bullshit is no different than what happened to your iPhone 4, your iPhone 6. They slowed down the software to implode it. They want to implode it, get it out of your hands so you can buy into the new one. And the new one is not going to be, they're not going to reboot the heliocentric universe. They can't. There's too much information out there that has debunked the heliocentric universe. Now that they use their own heavy hitter to further debunk the heliocentric universe, you have to realize that they're in the last chapters of that. And it's a controlled opposition to sell in the new version of the universe, the upgrade, Big Bang, the upgrade. CERN, they're even going to upgrade CERN. And that's what I was talking about in the videos that if you click on the videos below, you'll see that even CERN has, or even China has a CERN program. So what I was saying in one of those videos was that the next so-called space race is going to be, instead of going to space and the moon, it's going to be going into another dimension. And then they could just do another video like the Stargate movie and all these other interdimensional movies that they're already seeding in your brain with TV shows on Netflix like Travelers, The Black Mirror, and all these other futurists. Go analyze Netflix. Go look at what they're actually trying to tell you. And it got nothing to do with sending a car to Mars. It got everything to do with sucking you into this interdimensional quantum sort of world. It's like the Kansas City Shuffle or whatever it is, where they have you looking at one thing and then they hit you with another thing. The fake X SpaceX is that one thing that they want you to look at, because they're going to hit you with that roundhouse and you ain't even going to see it coming. But you already have it in your system. It's already been seeded in your system for so long by the same people that they used to implode it, Elon Musk. So what it boils down to, and I'll close it out with this, what it boils down to is that the old version of space needs to be destroyed. It needs to be destroyed by the people to seem realistic. It can't be destroyed by the same system who created that deceptive system if it's going to be believable. And that's what's happening right now. YouTube. This is another part of it too. YouTube is the new mainstream. This is why you have people like Will Smith having a YouTube channel. It's going to be a big thing. It's going to be sucking in this whole politics. Just imagine right now, 2018, Will Smith just started his YouTube channel. He's joking about, oh yeah, this is my first 100 subscribers. He's up to like 100,000 something subscribers right now. He's eventually going to get up into the millions. He's going to be challenging a lot of these YouTubers. He's already working with like the Superwoman YouTuber. It's co-opting the information circuit. And once it's co-opted, they get these believable people out there to tell you this believable information. So shifting from Hollywood to YouTube makes Will Smith more credible, makes him more real. So he's actually going to be the anchor for all these other Hollywood stars. Like The Rock is also doing it too. And then they got that whole idea of him running for president and so on and so forth. I wouldn't be surprised if Will Smith's in that whole space of, because that's what I saw. When I watched Will Smith's videos, I was like, this dude, he looks like he might be, putting himself out there for president. But I don't know. That's just something that I caught, and it looks looks doable. And they play these options. The system plays these options all over the place. So the Oprah thing could have been like, oh, like a distraction. Obviously, she got too many skeletons in that closet to be going up there talking about I want to be president, just like Hillary Clinton. So under the surface, you got people like Will Smith who's talking to the people. He's a real person. Like, he has a beautiful relationship with his son and his daughter and his wife, and he knows the Obamas, and oh, this is gonna be so real. We can just have another black president, and he'll be the real black president because he's a real person. He's gonna do stuff for us. I mean, however many ways they can play this game, it doesn't matter, because until you start talking and about the system and addressing the system itself, you're just gonna be falling into whatever checker game, or even if it's a chess game. It's going to be for one version of chess. You're not going to be talking about the 3-tiered chess game, which is for the soul, the mind, and the body. If you break the checker game and you start to realize all this stuff is being on purpose, then you have the responsibility to go further. The next step is to realize that this is a chess game and that there are a few steps ahead of you, a lot of steps ahead of you, and they've been ahead of us for a long time. The 1-tiered chess game interprets also the past, the present, and the future. Once you start interpreting the past, the present, and the future as one storyline, that's when you can start to see that it's not just the past, the present, and the future. It's the soul, the mind, and the body within the past, the present, and the future. That's the 3-tiered chess game that's being played right now. And you got people talking about flat versus globe, fake versus real on the checker game, not even allowing themselves to go into the chess game or eventually into the 3-tiered chess game. So this is what I wanted to share with this build. I'm not going to go into too many details about it because I've already done it in previous videos. If you're interested in seeing or listening to what I said and what I've already talked about in reference to CERN, simulation theory, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Elon Musk, SpaceX, check out the videos, the links below, where I go into more detail about it. I might go into detail in the future, but I just needed to put this out there right now because the way the so-called flat earth community is approaching this it's good up to a certain point. You guys are masters at the what's going on, but seem to be consistently staying away from the how and the why. How and why. How and why just maxes out at this like fortune cookie or just like this basic, oh yeah, it's separate us from God and nature. And then, is it new? Has this always been happening? Oh, it has. Okay, so how has it affected us in the past? How is it still affecting us, and how does it affect all of these systems? But it takes the individual to actually do that work to actually be able to say something about it, and a lot of these people ain't done that work. It doesn't matter to them a lot of the times because like I said earlier, some people don't think like there's anything wrong with Western civilization because they haven't done the work to see how this system has gotten to where it is right now. How did NASA and SpaceX get to trick the people? How did they get to that space to trick the people into being taxed $19 billion a year? How did they dumb down society? How did this system get to that point? These are my questions that a lot of the so-called mainstream flat earthers constantly avoid because for whatever reason, if they're doing it on purpose, you know what? Kiss my ass. If not, then start asking these questions to yourself. Start figuring this stuff out and start sharing this information with people. Otherwise, you're just setting them up for failure under the guise of critical thinking. Oh yeah, we're critically thinking. Well, you're critically thinking in a one-dimensional reality. Flat versus globe is one dimension. Even going into talking about oh, well, they've separated us from our creator. So it's all about the Bible and Christianity and mainstream religions. And flat earth helps you with that. That's still one dimensional because you're still using all the bullshit that they projected into your reality. You think it's that simple? You're still playing checkers. That's bullshit. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share with this video. For people who are still researching this information, to take it further, these YouTube channels are not going to be as far as you can take it. There are only triggers. All of these YouTube channels, including my channel, these are only seeds. These are triggers. You have the responsibility to research how and why this stuff is going on, how it's been going on, why it's been going on, and what it's trying to become. Fake versus real, flat versus globe. This is checkers. My question is, what are they trying to hide, or what are they trying to usher you into, and what is the system trying to do inherently with this information when they're playing you with that focus? What, how, and why? So if you know that it's fake, you have to ask why. If you know that they know that it's fake, then you have to ask yourself why. Why are they doing what they're doing? If you ask me, this is part of the controlled demolition of the old universe in order to usher in the new universe. It's the sacrificing of the old universe, and they could go as far as sacrificing Elon Musk's career, his company, in order to co-opt it. No different than like what they might be doing with Bitcoin. Sacrifice Bitcoin to sell in Fed coin, or whatever universal currency they're trying to sell in as they demolish the dollar. It's the same thing. Demolish the dollar, sell in Bitcoin or some kind of other cryptocurrency. Demolish NASA and the heliocentric universe to sell in simulation theory, CERN, and so on and so forth. Demolish the old politics to sell in the new politics. Demolish the old Hollywood to sell in the new Hollywood. Demolish the old version of culture and society, patriarchal programming. This is what's happening with the feminism movement. Demolish all that, or at least have the appearance to demolish all this stuff in order to sell in the new version. And when they sell in the new version, you're going to have people who are going to take the position of being the superhero, because you have the people who are already being projected into your reality as the villain. That's all they need to do to maintain the Hegelian dialectic. And if you have people who don't even know how to think for themselves, they will believe whatever the system is telling them to believe. So that's what I had for this video. Yeah, check those old school videos out. Old school, there was one like 2 years ago. Check those videos out that I was talking about Elon Musk, where I go into more detail about what, how, and why this system is doing what it's doing, and possibly what could be being sold in for the future. So thank you for joining me. And until next time, from all my relations, peace, love, and harmony.